This morning I want to take a moment to say something that's going to shock a lot of people who really know me, man. You know, and if you know me for any amount of time, you know I had a falling out with the New Orleans Saints that was real bad. It was epic, bro. My falling out with the Saints was so bad, the Saints had to respond. You know, who remembers the fight I had with Marshawn Lattimore? And hey, I was angry because they didn't take Tre'Davious White, right? Or none of our DBs, right? That I remember that argument over them taking Lattimore was so intense that his mom came on my Twitter page, and I said, "Ma'am, I'm not gonna disrespect you, not for a second. I'm just gonna respectfully disagree and congratulate you on getting your child to the NFL, even if I disagree with the selection." And she sent me a DM, and we just had a wonderful exchange. But I don't like the Saints when they ain't pick Debo, and he will go to the Atlanta Falcons. I was angry with them. But let me take a moment to compliment the Saints on one pick in particular. See this kid out of Arizona, this Tyson kid? Oh my God. Oh my God. Listen to me. It's not the football thing that I'm complimenting the Saints on, even though he's a football player. And every year there's a draft moment that makes me cry. Every year. There's one moment, there's one player that I look at and I say, yeah, he's going to be something special, based on the reaction. But see, when this Tyson kid gets drafted and he's standing up there reciting the lyrics of a gospel song, and I'm not saying this to be super religious, because I'm not. I'm saying this to acknowledge parenting. I'm saying this to acknowledge 5-star parenting. This young man, when everybody else is emulating thuggism, when everybody else is emulating throwing up gang signs and all of this dumb shit, this young man is up there reciting, lip syncing. And I didn't know the gospel song. My cousin who's into gospel said, that's a gospel song. He picked it up instantly. He said he's singing a gospel song. And this wasn't to get drafted. This is who he was as he was drafted. And I said, you know what, Saints? That's the move that the New England Patriots pulled. New England Patriots just started going after a different type of black person. And you start getting in trouble when you start talking the way I talk. But there's this thing, we're getting exhausted with what we call YNs. And YNs are young niggas. We're exhausted with that. And some people say, well, they're just harder on them because they're black. And no. I'm in New Orleans, where these YNs are killing elderly people and shooting up cars. So when Governor Landry takes to the mic and has this meltdown over YNs who have shot up a mall, I'm right there with him. I'm tired too, bro. I'm tired. Because behind every YN, behind every young nigga, and yes, white boys go into elementary schools and shoot up children. At this moment, I'm not talking about white boys. There's another video I'll have for that. In this moment right here, I'm talking about the shit we do. There's gang culture, shooting things, shooting everything. Your little coward ass don't know how to fight, right? And you want to shoot something. When I was in the 80s, we beat your ass up with our fists. You caught that left and that right, And even if you got beat up, round two is when we got off the St. Clair bus. Ding, 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 ding. We're going to finish this from yesterday. I had a guy beat me up 3 rounds in a row before I got him. I had to understand he left-handed. Don't leave my left hanging out there if I'm fighting somebody who's left-handed. But that was a different type of young men. Those were different type of boys. See this mentally ill rap-induced group of young men? This is why I pause to acknowledge the New Orleans Saints for finding a different type of black person. Yes, we're tired of that shit. We're sick of it. Those are parenting failures. You see somebody walking around with their pants hanging off their ass? That's a parenting failure. I always tell people, New Orleans don't have a crime problem. New Orleans has a parenting problem. We have people that are shit, absolute shit for parents. Child getting in trouble at school, the mama go there and beat up the school. That kind of shit. That's not a stereotype. That's a type. That's an actual type from somebody who was in the school system, teaching in it, and saw it with my own eyes. Why you think I left the school system? So to the New Orleans Saints, thank you for no longer drafting YNs, for drafting someone like this Tyson kid, who is somebody that I would love for my kid to hang out with. Because I don't want my kid hanging out with anybody. You know? And that's why I told you I practice classism. I only want my children around people from my class, not anything lower. So to New Orleans Saints, congratulations. Job well done looking beyond the football to look at the parents. Because if you look at the parents, that's going to tell you everything about the football player. And you took the time to really get to know that young man. And he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I put my name on it. TJ. Alice Dad.